Well. Good afternoon, West Ham fans. Good afternoon, Friday afternoon, West Ham fans. Hope you're safe and well. Rush on the West Ham Network. David Moyes just finished his press conference ahead of the Brentford game. To be honest, it wasn't a particularly exciting one. I'll be honest. There's a little bit of team news information in there, but not a great one. I'll be honest. But it's Hammer's Headlines in association with the KUMB.com boys. So we always produce a little synopsis, a little update, a little review of what Moyes actually says at his press conferences. So in terms of the types of questions he was asked, again, I wouldn't say they're particularly. I thought it was more interesting when we had the European game the other day, the Cup game. I thought it was a really interesting press conference. He was asked about going on the attack. He was asked about the loss of Lucas Paqueta and Edson Alvarez ahead of the game. He was spoken about Brentford. The fact we're playing on a Saturday as well is quite unusual. And it talks about Jared Bowen as well. Let's talk about that one first. He was asked about Jared Bowen specifically, obviously in a very rich vein of form at the moment. And he said this, if I bring it up, there we go. He said, Jared has made a really good start to the season. He's consistent. He's getting the goals. The length of his new contract shows we think of him. I like Jared's journey from the lower leagues. It's happening less and less in football nowadays. From him to go from Hereford to Hull to West Ham and become an England international says a lot about Jared. Thank you very much, Mr. Moyes, for that. It's very kind. Obviously, probably the biggest takeaway, I think, from Wednesday was the attack. I mean, the attack was fantastic, really, in terms of not just scoring the goals, but just pressing from the front. And he was asked about, attacking style and things like that. He was actually asked specifically, I remember, for the Arsenal press conference, he was asked about, we haven't scored, didn't score Everton, and he said, we're trying new stuff and we're trying things, but it's not translating into games. But he was asked a similar question the other day, today to that, and he goes, I think we've got a different group of players and the skill set offers different sorts of things. Ultimately, when you win games, you and the players get praised for it. We've been pleased with the players so far. Such a non sequitur. There was just like nothing there. But obviously, we go into the game with the fact that Paqueta and Alvarez aren't playing. And how does that affect in terms of who he brings in to replace them and maybe the formation he plays? And he said basically, we've got players in the club. We've played players in the cup games and in Europe. So when you need them to come in, they're ready to do so. Thanks. So to me, assumes that someone like Ben Rama comes in. Someone like Fornals could be on the peripherals. Someone like Mavropanos could be on the peripherals. And speaking about Mavropanos in a bit more detail, he was asked about his defensive options ahead of the game, and it was quite interesting what he said. Particularly, we know that he said prior to the Arsenal game that Kurt Zouma was basically injured. He had a knock, so he couldn't play. And he was asked specifically about our defensive options going into the Brentford game. And he said this. He said, I'm not sure if Kurt will make the trip to Brentford yet. He trained a little bit, so we'll see how he goes. Dinos Mavropanos is a big personality who is making his way back into the Premier League. The games he's played for us, he's done really well. A really good character, and we hope he continues to come along. So to me, that looks like Mavropanos starts on Saturday. Kurt might not play, but Dino's fucking brilliant. So I think you'd probably see, and actually I think a lot of fans wouldn't be adverse to seeing I think a back three. I think Kurt was fit. I think a back three of Aged, Zouma in the middle, and Mavropanos on the right would be very good. But a back two of Mavropanos and Aged, I don't think many people will be too upset with that, to be honest. So particularly, Kurt's a great player, but he waddles about quite a bit. He's the captain, obviously, so it'll be interesting to see if he's not playing. Obviously, Fabianski was captain on Wednesday. Does that mean I think James Ward-Prowse gets the armband? Quite possibly. I would assume maybe again, but I think maybe Ward-Prowse potentially. He will obviously be definitely playing because obviously we know that Paqueta and we know that Alvarez will both miss the game. Asked about Brentford, because don't forget we are actually playing Brentford. One of the questions and how to stop them. He goes, they've done remarkably well. They've got some really talented footballers and they've possibly gone under the radar a bit. They're really good. literally is like the most. It's just so it's not the most exciting. I do apologise. It's not a great press conference. And I think the last question he was asked was the fact that we're playing on a Saturday and it's a 3 p.m. kickoff. And how does he feel about that? And he said basically, he said it was make a difference. The culture of football of this country is football on a Saturday. If truth be known, we'd probably rather it was on a Sunday because he played on the Wednesday. So we're back to a 2-game turnaround. But we'll play the games on the day they put them out. Thanks very much for that, Mr. Moyes. Ironically, we could have done because although we've got the Wednesday, Saturday, Wednesday, Sunday would have probably been better. But then we've got Saturday, then Thursday. So we've got a longer period then. So Saturday, actually, the Sunday would have probably been better. But hey ho. Let's enjoy a Saturday 3 p.m. kickoff while we can. We'll have the predicted 11s. We'll have stat attack. Probably have an opposition chat as well. We'll also have the watch alongs and everything. Maybe even a little chat with Irish Tommy. Maybe doing a late show tonight. Keep an eye on the channel again where you can make sure you don't miss anything by hitting the subscribe button and also the bell notification. So anytime we're live, you are made aware. But that is a David Moyes press conference for the Brentford game for what it's worth. Key takeaways, Kurt Zouma is probably not going to play. And he wants to play football on a Saturday, but not this week. Take care, stay safe, stay warm, stay humble. Keep the faith, my friends. Come on, you bloody Irons. Irons.